Hi, do you want to take control of your life with the help of tarot? Then you've come to the right place. In today's video, we're going to talk a little bit about what tarot is, how tarot can help you advance in your life, how tarot can help you make a right life decision. Have you ever wondered what would happen if you chose option A versus option B? Have you ever had that itch like, if only I knew what would happen if I did this versus if I did that? That's where tarot comes in, and tarot can help you kind of peek into the future as to what's going to happen. This way, you can make the right choices and take control back to your life. So, I'm here to teach you how you can do your own tarot readings and make these decisions in a much more simpler way. So, welcome to my channel. My name is Richa, and today we're going to be covering the most basic questions or before anybody wants to learn tarot. In the future videos, we're going to talk a little bit more about individual cards, how to interpret them, what would their positioning mean. I'm going to cover all of those, but today's video is just going to focus on the very basics of what is tarot, where can you get a tarot card from, can you buy your own tarot card, and what to do if you're not ready to buy one just yet. Like, how can you still learn without buying a tarot card? So come along with me on this journey. Without much ado, let's get started. So, the first question, what is tarot? So, tarot is, if you want to think about it, it's just a set of playing deck, but not the usual kind. So, the usual kind usually has suits like diamonds or spades, whereas tarot has more images and colors and pictures. So, something like this one. So, this is one of the tarot cards. It's called the Sun, as you can see. Yeah, so we'll be talking more about what each of these individual cards mean, how to interpret their symbols, the colors, the messages that they send you across. But the first question, how did tarot start? When did it start? All of those, right? Just a little bit going back into the history, it was first used as a divination method somewhere around mid 15th century. So it has been around for a long, long time. And that's where we kind of, evolved, we learned, and we found out that, hey, if the sun card comes up, this is probably what it means for your question. A usual tarot deck contains 78 cards, and they're further divided into major arcanas and minor arcanas. And we'll be discussing more in details in this series. So do make sure you subscribe, like, share, comment on this video. I will be reading every single one of your comments and responding to them. But that's what in general what tarot is. It's just a set of playing deck with little different cards, little different symbols, helping you understand what the future holds. Next question that usually people ask, usually skeptics, I was one at one point, ask is, how do you know? Like, how can you even trust tarot reading, right? And it's like you trust it or you don't, right? It's the same thing as when you're investing in stocks. You know Apple stock is going to do good because Apple is a huge company, but you don't know. You just trust because of all the data that you have seen in the past. And that's pretty much what tarot reading is. You don't know if this is going to be true or not. Nobody's giving you a 100% guarantee, but this is what the most likely result is. So a tarot reading or any kind of prediction is an art. It definitely is an art, but it's an art similar to what investing is. The next question that I usually get asked is, who can practice tarot? And the answer is anyone. You, me, a 60-year-old auntie or a 6-year-old kid, anybody can practice tarot. So it really has no age limit. It really doesn't have any limits on the religion, the caste, the creed. None of those. Tarot does not care as long as you build a relationship with your deck. That's all that matters. Next question. Any specific rules that one needs to follow while reading tarot? The answer is it depends because you set the rule. If you say that I'm not going to do a tarot reading after I have had some kind of meat, chicken, beef, anything, then you probably shouldn't. But if you don't set a rule for yourself, if you think reading tarot cards anywhere is fine, that's fine. It's your relationship with your own tarot cards. So go on, make your own rules. My tarot card, they usually come with me anywhere I go, whether I'm going hiking, whether I'm going to a beach, whether I'm just traveling in a city. I usually have my deck right on my nightstand because I just like to do a reading. I know a lot of people, they actually like to pull a card every single morning just to know how their day is going to be, which is a great way to practice. And we're going to talk about it in a little bit more detail in our next videos. There's actually a fun thing where you can ask your deck if it's okay. because that's what I did. I asked my deck if it was okay to read tarot right after I had had like a chicken curry or something, and my tarot deck was completely fine. So you can ask the questions, you pull a card, you know the answer, and based off of that, you kind of form a relationship with your tarot cards. The next one, and this is quite a popular one, which confuses or throws off a lot of people. Can you buy cards for yourself? And the simple answer is yes, you can. Because I have done it. I have bought my own tarot cards. I have never had any problems, never had any issues. So you can definitely buy your own cards. You don't need somebody to specifically go in, buy your tarot card and gift it to you. You don't have to ask anyone to do that. You go, you find one that you like, and just buy one. See, the thing is, cards are very personal. Like for example, the Rider-Waite card, the one where this one is from, this card is from, that's the Rider-Waite deck. And I really liked it because it spoke to me. So I bought it. I just bought it for myself and it has been great. But if a particular deck does not speak to you and somebody gifts that card deck to you, you're probably not going to be that close to your cards. So it's always a good idea to just buy your own cards, go into the store, go online, look at the cards, see which one you like, and just pick it up. It's really that simple. There's no bad luck that's going to come to you just because you've bought your own cards. It's very easy. The next question, what kind of cards should you buy? This is a very interesting question because as a first timer, there are so many options out there and you just don't know which one is the best. My suggestion would be start off with Rider-Waite deck because it's such a common deck out there. You have so many resources. We will be covering Rider-Waite deck in this series, so you'll have something to fall back on. This is also the deck where most of the other tarot decks are designed off of. So I would say start off with Rider-Waite, but if it does not speak to you, that's totally fine. Just pick any deck that you like, and you can come back to my videos and you can find out what the symbolism is and how to read those. So I personally do like the After Tarot. It's another type of tarot deck. I still haven't bought that one, but I really love it. It's kind of based off of Rider deck as to what happens right after, and we'll cover a little pieces of it in our next videos. See, the thing is, you form a relationship with your tarot deck over that period of time, which is why you sometimes, make correct predictions versus sometimes your predictions don't really land. And this is all because of how strong your relationship with your tarot deck is. For example, think of this. You're never going to let your friends pick out your boyfriend, right? You will go on dates with him, you will pick him out because of the qualities that you like, you will have a connection. Tarot decks are kind of similar. You're forming a relationship. And it doesn't necessarily have to be just one tarot deck. If you are drawn to multiple ones, go ahead, buy them. People actually have libraries of tarot decks. There are bookstores where you'll see walls and walls filled with tarot decks. So there are a lot of choices out there. The world is your oyster. Really pick whichever one you like, and you can practice. And as you keep growing and you start liking other decks, you can just keep on purchasing those. So the choice is really yours on what kind of tarot deck you should buy. The next question I usually get asked is one deck enough, or do I need multiple ones? Do I need oracle cards? Do I need this, that? The honest answer is one deck is enough. If you don't want to purchase more, if you're a minimalist like me, one deck is more than enough for you. I personally have two decks, but I usually 99% of my readings I do using only one deck. There are times when I'm feeling a little whimsical, and I pull out my fairy tale deck just to clarify certain things, or I just feel drawn like, hey, let me use this card to do this reading. But in general, I just use one deck, and it has been great so far. So really, one deck is enough or not. You be the judge of it. If you want to pull multiple decks, cards from multiple decks in a reading, you're more than welcome to. There are a lot of tarot readers out there who have multiple decks while doing their reading for the clients, and they get the client to pick which deck they want to do the reading with. So it really depends on whichever style you want to go ahead with. But if you want to stick to one deck and don't want to buy multiples, that's totally fine. One question that I get quite often from whoever is learning tarot from me is, hey, it's too expensive. This deck is like this much amount of money. I don't want to spend that. Like, what can I do? Because I don't want to commit to this deck yet. If you don't want to commit, don't. It's fine. There are a lot of online resources. There are websites online. There are apps online. that you can use to pull cards. So you don't necessarily need a tarot deck physically with you to do these readings or to learn tarot. Eventually, you do want to buy one so that you form that relationship that we talked about earlier in the video. But if you are just going to practice and learn and you're not ready to commit, use the online resources. In today's world, Google is one of the best places to find anything online. I'll link some of the websites and apps that I personally use down below. I have done many readings by using just the online resources, and it has been completely fine. I've taken a little bit of time forming my relationship with that online website as well, and I will cover this, like how do you form a relationship with your tarot deck, in future videos. So just make sure that whichever one you pick, you kind of stick with it after a couple of tries. Like pick the one that you like, stick with it, form that relationship, and you're good to go. You don't need it physically with you every time. I hope some of these questions and answers helped encourage you to learn tarot with me. We'll start to look at the very first card in the deck, which is called the Fool, in my next video. So stay tuned, make sure you subscribe, make sure you press the bell icon so you don't miss anything out, and I'll see you next time. Bye.